So I'm Dan.
Oh, I'm Nick.
And we are
Together,
the
we form
Oh,
Unpanders.
errs.
I like that foam on your lip there. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Mm. It's a little foamy.
Folks, it's a balmy, warm, totally humid, dry Monday night here. It's Monday, right?
Yes, it is Monday. But
Good.
I'm gonna.
Days start to run together. I haven't worked in 10 days.
Wow, I don't remember the last time I got 10 days straight off, except for the hurricane. Never mind, I do remember.
Very recently,
Yeah.
in fact. Super recently.
Mm-hmm. Feels
fun.
good though. I don't have any memory before that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's get this out of the way.
Oh.
All the expressed content, opinions, and hearsay here gathered in is all not disseminated upon by the NFL. The rights to this broadcast are not to be disseminated. Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't know the phrase. Now that you said all those words, I don't know how they mix together to make a sentence.
These are not our opinions, nor the opinions of our employers, our friends, our countrymen, or even people we meet.
Yeah, even passersby, if the words are coming out of our mouths, they're not accurate. They are not hearing us correctly. They don't understand.
False, fake news, I believe
Yeah.
it's referred to as in real life.
Yeah, sure. Yep. And the people under age
18, I believe.
yeah, they
Unless we're dating them, then it's 17.
yeah,
Okay.
with parental consent. Then they're allowed to listen to the podcast with parental consent. It's the same rules. For some reason, it's the same rules.
Statutory? Statuesque, I believe, rules.
Statuesque.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's
So,
the
let's,
disclaimer. Let's just get that out of the way.
Let's get it out of the way, folks.
Yeah.
You having a nice beverage tonight, friend Dan?
I am. I have continually had the same beverage for the past, I don't know, it must have been like a dozen podcasts. But now it's like a seasonal beer, so it's running out. I'm getting a little scared I'm not going to be able to find it, and I'm going to lose my mojo. I'm not going to be able to do this podcast anymore.
What if you have better mojo from a different beer? Like, woo! This is Dan, folks! I'm just out of my mind!
It'd be
It's like called the used car salesman beer. And you're like, come on down to the podcast!
The market
We're the
increase in our viewership.
Unpanders. Yeah. I can see it.
I'd have to increase my my size of my overlay so that now I'm much larger on the screen.
You're taking up all of the room, slowly pushing me out into a corner.
That'd be awesome if there was an adapter just to make you larger as you spoke louder or more energetic, and then you'd get squeezed out of the screen, and then when I quieted down, I would just shrink.
Just slowly and get darker and dimmer.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. Real cool.
Cool.
Speaking of cool, though,
Whoa.
do you want to hear something pretty cool?
Unless you're going to summarize what we do on this channel. No.
That's what we do, folks.
Well, we got to do a quick summary of what we do. We have a conversational podcast where we talk about different topics and we just go on tangents.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We're not afraid of talking about pretty much anything, and we don't care.
Except our lady folks.
Mm.
If they caught us, we'd be in big trouble. So we don't talk about them.
Yeah, and we don't share our links to them. But everyone else, feel free to click. And they're going to find them eventually.
So who's a bigger B word, yours or mine?
Well, I can't say yours, and I can't say mine.
I was just trying to get you in trouble.
One of my eyes means yours, and the other eye means mine. We'll find out later in the show which I truly mean.
Oh, I think I know. I know. Anyway, babe, I disagree with them.
I'm sorry.
Unless
I'm
you
sorry.
don't want me to.
I apologize in advance.
Someone's apologizing for something.
Yeah. That's a good summary.
Well, let's get into it.
Sure.
Another thing we do is we play video games all the time, nonstop. I don't even pay attention to my kid half the time.
I'm constantly adding gems. Just keep adding, clicking gems.
Click, click, click. Free gems, free gems, free gems. I'll watch that video. Did you notice they're different lengths?
What? What are different
The
lengths?
videos.
Oh, yeah. They're split up in different segments. Our videos?
No.
Oh,
free gems.
you're talking about free gems in the Idle Heroes game.
Like if you play, sure, any mobile game, I imagine the free gem button, you'll notice that different videos are different length and they're different, like they're set up different.
You see
my favorite part.
The little bar at the bottom that expands.
Yes.
Some of them keep
that
going
one's my favorite.
to make you confused. Keep watching.
Huh. Some of them don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have a timer countdown.
Oh, the timer, yep.
My favorite one, though, is the one that ends, and then it stops and freezes, and there's no X's anywhere, and you're looking for where to turn it off, and you have no clue where. So you click, and it brings up the link, but really it wasn't done yet. It had 5 more seconds. And it used it as like a freeze frame at the end. It was like, they're going to click. Those fools.
Mental games.
It's all mental games on the internet. The internet's the wild, wild west. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you're thinking. I know exactly where you're going, too.
Are we cowboys?
Oh.
Woo!
I had that feeling back when
yeah.
I was a teenager, though. When you go
to
little IRC chats, and you'd be able to, like...
I never went on IRC chats, dude. Were you on some crazy forums? Were you on some whacked-out forums back then, huh?
Yeah. It was crazy because all these different bots were running, and they had, like, all different types of movies, and you just, like, type in a certain, like, couple keystrokes, and you'd be able to pull up, like, different movies and download them. And it would take forever. So you'd download for, like, a week, and then at the end of the week, you'd get to see, like, a quarter of the movie because it cut off and froze.
Broke.
People deliberately did that.
When I first found out you can get pornography on the internet, I think we were like
what
12 or something. Newsflash, folks!
Woo!
You can find that deplorable, awful substance if you look hard enough.
By accidentally clicking on all those pop-ups.
Yeah, all of them at once. Wait, did you see the Aqua Teen Hunger Force where Shake just keeps clicking pop-ups?
No, I did not.
He starts clicking pop-ups, and he says, yeah, free erection pills? Yeah! And he clicks it, and then it's like, you want to get a bigger wiener? And he says, yeah, I need that. And then he starts clicking all of them, and it's like, mortgage rates? I don't even need a mortgage, but yeah. And he's clicking them all, and they just open more and more, and eventually he's lost in this, like, hyper web of, like, the ad space, and someone has to go in and save him. But I really did wonder what would happen if he just kept clicking yes.
I feel like the moment you click yes, they're sending you a letter in the mail to make you sign something. You can just see like envelopes just pouring into his house.
Converging onto his house. Oh man, I forgot where we were 1 second before that. Oh yeah. Penis. So pornography. Did you say penis, Abby?
I didn't say anything besides opinions because I was talking about
opinions. I apologize. Opinions. Opinions are sprinkles. That's right.
Opinions are sprinkles.
Some of the first pornography I ever saw was beautiful women, scantily clad. I don't think they're fully nude. Like maybe their tops were off. I'm trying to picture. There's one where her top was pulled down to here, and it would load from the bottom of the screen to the top. And it would take like 3 hours.
You get like one pixel, and it'd like slowly creep across the screen, and you'd see the skin just getting lower and lower and lower until it froze.
I gotta restart it. Someone called the house.
Yeah, and then your parents would walk in, and you'd be like, close, and then you'd be like,
and the whole screen's frozen. It's crazy to think that the internet was a phone line. Like, well, it's also crazy to think that people had house phones. Like, I know we're not that far removed, and we sound like old people a little bit, but
get off the internet, Dan.
Well, even before that, like, you had to meet people. Like, how did you meet people? At the mall.
Yeah, go to the mall, hang out.
But how did you do it? Like, none of your party and their party didn't have cell phones. You literally had to talk on a landline, agree on a time, and then hope to hell everyone really did it.
Yeah, you'd have to call back their house and talk to their parents before you could talk to them.
Yeah. That's just, but I mean, I'm talking about the gap.
How do you hook up in high school like that?
That's what I mean. Hey, is Sandra there? This is her father. Well, don't worry. I'm the dude in school who identifies as a woman. That's cool. Okay, I'll get Sandra.
I'm gonna go for a PhD in masters or something, and then Dad'd be like, loser.
Okay. You suck.
And then the girl would be awkwardly like on the phone as her parents are probably like listening in. There's always that other phone line that your brother or your sister
you
was
pick it
like,
up and just cover the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn it, Jimmy. What's your problem? Get back in the basement.
Secret brothers.
Mm-hmm. Got a pretty big crawl space. And he was fast.
He was fast. Sometimes we couldn't catch him, sometimes we could. Sometimes the police would have to find him in the neighborhood, you know?
Yeah.
That was old Jimmy.
Old Jimmy.
I wonder, so do you think things were really crazy, let's say 100 years ago? With, let's say, mutants or people who were weird or deformed, but there were no cell phone cameras to catch all this? Is that possible? Or it doesn't have to be mutants, but do you think something would surprise us if there were cell phone cameras like 150 years ago?
I guess you'd catch all
Do you
the
think
weird
there were
stuff that people
murders?
did.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think we'd be surprised that it was different than stuff we have now? It would be like,
Still be
whoa,
like
they-
selfies, and there'd be like Amish people churning butter. It'd be like,
But well, would it be like? Do you think they had like rats in New York that were like literally like 8 feet big back then? Is that possible?
we had some crazy animals because they didn't kill them all.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying 150 years. I guess we'd have to go back like 800 to have anything different.
Something to think about.
If anyone in the audience has a picture of something that's 800 years old, send it into the podcast. We'll check it out. We'll get over it. Our guys will get on it, and boom.
Yeah, boom.
You might actually win the weekly contest. Dan, tell them about the weekly contest.
So the weekly contest involves anything that you could be lazy with. So if you're sitting on your couch and just watching TV and you want to change the channel, if you're on Netflix or something, you can use a remote like this. But this remote,
What is that?
it's
incredible.
It's a clicker, you know? You
What's
move this
does
tiny
that have a
little
name?
button, and then, no, because it sucks. It's a Lenovo one. That one sucks. Same thing with this one. This one sucks too. Don't buy this one. It's very similar to this one, the Mini i8. You want to get this one, not this one, this one, not this one.
That's the
This one sucks. This is a Chinese
Mini.
knockoff. And I'll tell you why.
So which one do I want?
You want this one.
That's the
Yeah. Because it actually has a built-in battery, it charges, and it doesn't, like, it gets super sensitive. Like, you can actually click on stuff and move your finger around without it jolting around. You can click, you can do all sorts of stuff.
Whoa! You just took me for a ride.
Yeah.
Feel pretty good. Now, the only thing I missed is what it controlled.
Everything.
Oh.
Your computer.
My wife.
Certainly does.
Thank heavens, folks.
Right now, she's screaming at me because I'm changing the channels. I'm
Wait,
controlling her.
You are controlling her. I'm draining her bank account now.
Ooh.
Whoa. Little
Surprise
sound, huh?
product plug. So what I was going to say was that I heard a story of a friend of a friend. So I'll just call him my friend, even though I never met him. And so my friend was in a car accident. He literally got hit by a car, was ejected, stood in the middle of the street, and he was standing up as another car hit him. So, because of the accident, he had brain damage, and he had all sorts of ailments that were, related to him having...
Brain related. So
Yeah, well, brain related, yeah.
we'll say brain related. It's
So,
easy to say.
in his perspective, he was fine. Like, for some reason, like, his mental speed was so slow that he didn't realize he was slurring, and he, like, couldn't walk right. Like, he was just out of it. So after like months and months and months, he came back and he was normal again. So he could walk normally, and he thought that the whole time he was normal. So he asked somebody, he was talking to somebody, and they said, "Man, thank God you're back to normal." And he says, "What are you talking about? I was normal the whole time."
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? So he, none of his friends would actually tell him that he was, maybe a little bit out of it.
Right, I guess that's if you're just,
Yeah. So the speed of your normalcy, are you ever really normal? I don't even know if I'm normal.
You're not.
Huh.
Not even close.
Kind of
What's
that.
funny about you, though, is your speed is quicker than your normalcy. So you probably think you're superhuman. Like
you could be speaking gibberish and be like, "Oh man, I'm on fire tonight."
Yeah. Man, I'm killing it. Someone's like, "You just solved a 2-piece puzzle," and you're like, "Whoa, baby!"
You're just like, "Whoa, this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle."
That's a puzzle, all right. I'm still trying to figure it out. Honestly, babe, I'm constantly Googling it, YouTubing it. I'm constantly looking at pictures of it. I'm just like constantly can't get enough of it. Wow.
Wow.
Hot and bothered after that segment.
Yeah, I got a little excited. Love solving puzzles.
Didn't we all?
Puzzles are great.
Yes, they are. Match pitch? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think all the people at home appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope so. So I was thinking about internet opinions since we're on the subject of internet. So how do you trust like a random stranger posting to a forum if they say, "Hey, you should try this. Like, fix your carburetor and poke some holes in it." Like, how do you know that that's like a good thing to do?
Mm-hmm.
How do you read a comment to say this guy's full of shit, or maybe that's a good idea?
I go by their popularity on the forum site. If that makes sense.
Points.
Seriously,
you go by the point system.
No. Because like if I go to an old Jeep forum or something, and he says the coolest way to fix blah blah blah. There's a problem with the water leaks where the heated mirrors are, and what he did is he drilled a tiny hole right into the corner. It's just plastic there. You just make sure you don't hit anything else, and all the water will, instead of going back into the vehicle where the heated components are, it'll drip out. And I thought, well, who's to say this guy is a jackass number A versus a genius number A? I don't know.
Alt F4.
Well, I click on his name and I see what else he's posted on. Dude's all over the site. He's constantly saying, "Hey, you know what? Mac Jimmy 5, you know what I would try? Change the axle alignment," and like stuff I don't understand. And I'm like, still, I don't really know.
So maybe he's stuff that you trust that he's saying the right stuff.
Well, hold on.
Ooh.
So then you check what everyone's responses to all those things are, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Big Jeep Jim, dude. Big Jeep Jim. Thanks a lot, Big Jeep Jim." And someone's like, "Big Jeep Jim want to know," and people are always like, "Big Jeep Jim," and like symbol clap, like the hand clap symbol. And like I'm like, okay, this is like the Godfather of the Jeep.
They're erecting an internet statue with him in it.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna take his word, and I won't start my own name for the forum and thank him. I'll just do it. You know what I mean?
So I'll give you something that you don't have references to, because you're using references to prove out this guy's trustworthiness.
Sure. I have to. I wouldn't just go blind.
Ooh. So I saw It this weekend, and I
thought the movie with the clown, right?
Yeah, the clown movie that you know nothing about.
Did I just ruin it? Did I ruin it? Oh,
spoiler! There's a clown in it. So I loved it. That was really good. It was really enjoyable. But I checked on IMDb afterwards, and the score is a little lower than I was expecting. It was like an 8. I thought it'd be a little higher than an 8.
Higher than an 8, dude. Nothing gets higher than an 8. What's the highest IMDb score? What's the highest IMDb score? Someone look it up. Is it 9.2 for something like The Godfather?
I will look it up, but you have to keep talking. So
I will keep talking.
How do you trust that they're
Here's my issue. You can never trust a reboot or a redo because you have so many. They're pre-existing opinions. I'm telling you, the pre-existing
9.2.
Holy shit! What is it? Godfather?
Shawshank. Oh, Shawshank, baby.
Give me some numbers as they go down. Like what top 10? Do we drop to 8.5? Like is 8.5 an average?
8.8 is a top 10.
Okay, that's a ridiculously high number. On IMDb, you gotta get between 7 and 8, and you're a good movie.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because it's so many different age groups and sexes. I mean, there's men, there's women, there's men who think they're women, there are men who identify as women, there are men who identify as men who are gay, there are men who identify as women,
children, and there are children who don't know what the
hell
they are.
Who do know that they're men but aren't sure yet, and
they'll figure it out.
I'm just saying, they'll get there.
Yeah. So you have critic reviews on a movie like that,
right?
What like so many reviews are just garbage, and there's so many things that I look at that I discount right away.
You can do that with all reviews. Have you ever seen a Google review or Yelp review of a restaurant?
One you hate and they love it?
Well, or the other way
Or
around.
other way around.
Where you're like, it's pretty good, and the person writes 1 star. The service was awful. I just asked for a little lemon in my drink, and it took them 4.5 minutes to get me lemons. And you're reading it, and you're like, this person's an asshole. I think they give everyone a 1. And you can just tell by the way they're reading it. And it's like, I ordered my fajita with 1 onion. Not just onions. I said 1 onion. Can they follow directions here at the cafe? I guess not.
Oh, yes.
You know, and you read it, and you can just hear their voice, and you know what kind of person it is. And you're like, I'm almost glad they gave it 1 star, because I hate you. You're a 1-star person. You know? Like, that's a 1-star person.
I wish they had...
the restaurants could rate their people.
Yeah, that they had their own profiles of the people, and it's like,
and
this person's a little bit of a bitch, and they complain about this stuff, and they don't match your personality.
Them, like, 2 stars. Yeah, you can give them 2 stars. Yeah.
I'm going to filter by the assholes and, skim those guys all right off the top.
Exactly.
Get to the heart of the score.
But when you check out it, the other problem is not only are you getting people who... there will be people who watch movie It and aren't scared because they're big 38-year-old men
they're strong
who live
men.
at home with their parents, and they're still like this. I'm giving it a 2. I wasn't even scared.
Yeah, I'm no longer a child and will never have any.
Right, and on one hand you look and you're like, dude, we know you're not scared. You're an adult man. Like, we get it. The point of the movie is to be creepy. Like, you get it? And he's like, I wasn't scared.
Man,
2 stars. I'm a man. And then there's going to be some woman who sees it and says, unrealistic proportions for a clown, 1 star. Because, and you're going to be like,
too large.
Lord. And you're going to be like, my goodness. So right away, a lot of people reviewing things have an axe to grind.
Oh, definitely.
If you think about it, I would gather, and I don't know this for a fact, if I had to guess, I'd say 70% of people who review something are doing it because they're out of the way positive for something or out of the way negative for something.
They're on the polar ends.
Right. There's no one who's like, that was pretty good. I'm going to take my time to write a review on IMDb. Like, no one's going to do that. Like, not many people.
Yeah, that was mildly impressive, so I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'd like to log in. Right. So you get the people who want to gripe or just talk about it because it knocked their socks off. So you have to take it all with a grain of salt and then weigh all these things against each other. So I propose the unpanderer's weighted value. Wait for it.
The unpanderer correlated value. It's a brand new site. It's going up maybe in 2018.
I bet you I could look at, and I'm not really great at math, but I'm great at relationship math. I could look at, they break it down by...
who hates who? Who loves
right.
who?
Well, no. On
Selena
IMDb.
Gomez is dating The Weeknd after a kidney transplant. Okay, I was just messing with you. Keep going. Keep going.
Sorry. Well, on IMDb, you know how they break down the review?
Mm-hmm.
It's people who gave it a 10, males over 18, what they gave it, average score, mean score.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. Is age
Females
range.
over 80. Right. I bet you I could look at the age range scores, the sex scores, and I think there's one other
most
metric.
Hated by.
yeah. Most hated by, most loved by. And I could tell you from just those scores what kind of reviews we're talking here and how the movie really was. I'd imagine.
The most honest age group by demographics?
What do you think it is? Well, again, it depends on what it is. How about for the movie It?
I bet
do you think it's people who saw this one or people who didn't see the first one?
I don't know. It hits me a little bit like
Okay,
it would hit people as a kid.
You saw both, right?
I saw, but the old one I saw a long time ago. Long time ago. But it hit me as a kid. I was like, man, this is creepy.
Well, were you old enough to understand cinematography, acting?
No, not at all.
Okay, so you just saw it as a creepy-ass son of a gun type.
Yeah.
So you went into it pretty blind. If you imagine if you were 10 years older when you saw the original, and you said, well, Tim Curry was such a great It, and like you had opinions about it,
yes,
that maybe those opinions wouldn't mesh with the opinions of the new It. Do you know what I mean? So then you're not even reviewing the movie anymore. You're reviewing the replacement of the lead cast, which you can't do because Tim Curry's now 30 years older or whatever.
Like, Someone said he was like disabled or something. So you physically couldn't bring him back. But that's a review. I don't know if I can trust it. He's
can't,
probably
but I
alive
like
and
it.
well.
He's
Good job.
laughing.
Good job, Tim Curry.
There's an insane man with a gun in the hotel. He's crawling on the floor, and Kevin McCallister's playing that movie.
Oh. Plus, it has a like most movies start from maybe like a script or some like shitty book, but it has an amazing book. The movie has an amazing book to follow, plus an old series. So people, there's so much bias there too, that they have to.
That's what I was saying. I agree with you.
They play off a comparison.
Right, and not you're not judging a movie as a movie. Now you're judging a movie compared to an old movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Jackoffs. So who was a creepier It? Tim Curry or the new guy?
I think the new guy was creepier.
I've seen pictures of him without his makeup.
He's not scary.
He has this weird. No. He's not scary, but he has this weird. His European skeleton.
He's a darkness to him.
I don't know about. It's just weird. There's something odd about him.
You think in 10 years you're going to find out that he was some sort of whatever, and then you're going to be like, oh yeah, totally.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Can you see what people are odd?
I think some people.
How about child molesters?
There are.
I'm not saying
that are just strange.
For the cursor, not him.
That goes back to I knew a guy that went to school with Jeffrey Dahmer, and he's like, yeah, there's something wrong with that guy, even before anything happened.
But do you think that's as much physical as social?
I think it's.
Do you know what I mean?
Social. You're kind of like.
Right. So can you tell someone's going to be weird from a physical?
Do you think the teachers of the world are they have the lowest of the class? They're like, this kid's going to have a problem.
Yeah, wait. Like a teacher that teaches Jared at Subway? Do you think anyone thought ooh, this kid's creeping me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's nothing I can get him arrested for, but he's gonna.
Right. You don't. Something's wrong with this guy, and then a year later she's like, "Wow, he's making commercials. I think I was wrong."
He was such a good guy. I totally was. Oh wait a second.
Oh my god. All that piled corn. Yep.
Piled corn.
Do you know about that?
No.
So at our high school, in the cafeteria, I don't know. This is between junior and senior year. This heavyset guy who looked a little bit like Penn Jillette. Is it Penn? I get Teller. It's because Teller doesn't talk. Penn is the big one, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Because Teller doesn't talk. It makes the joke funny. I think.
Yeah. Teller
doesn't
joke.
say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Penn-looking guy in our high school with a ponytail. Do you recall this guy? And he would just be in the cafeteria, and I don't know that he was a teacher.
He's like a monitor or something, right?
Yeah, and I don't know why they hired him or what was going on, but I
know why.
Oh, do you?
When I went for a visiting day, so I was in 8th grade, and one of the kids grabbed another kid, and they had that security glass. He took his head and smashed it through the security glass on the one day I was visiting.
Where was the security glass?
It was between where the vending machines were and the main cafeteria, the doorway.
Yeah.
So he smashed his head through one of those panes of glass.
That's badass.
And I think
they props.
Yeah.
Is he a visitor too? Yeah, but this is the weird part. He wasn't there our freshman, sophomore, and most of our junior year. He just showed up. Yeah.
Maybe he was a secret monitor.
Secret monitor.
Watching on a monitor.
Anyway, the joke was, and looking back, I guess we were real jerks. Although, what was he doing there? Well, I mean, honestly,
I don't know.
We would walk by the guy, and everyone joked that his name was CM for child molester.
I don't remember that. I didn't do that one.
I was hanging with a rough crowd. In that year. Anyway, so we would, whenever we were walking by him, we would talk about all this piled corn we found, and all this, wow, this corn's piled high and piled corn, because we thought it would sound like child porn, and he might try and follow us.
Piled corn.
So we called it piled corn. And we were trying to catch this pervert in his act, but he never did, and that was an awful ponytail.
Huh.
I don't know what happened to him. I think he was arrested for child porn, but other than that, he was a good guy.
Huh. You think in the future that the internet will capture all these people, and then you'll be able to look back and see how you were connected?
Oh, like if you ever interacted with them on a Jeep forum?
Oh, yeah. Like your phones were like within 5 feet of each other. They'd be like, you had a
Oh, you
warning
mean-
back in
But
1962.
That's physical. That's physical distance. Or you think that would be it?
I think Facebook is saving all that crap so they can be like, hey, you knew this guy. Let's get an interview.
Oh, interesting. Well, Facebook's setting up to,
Take over the world.
well, he's running for, is he really running for president?
Oh, he'll never win.
That's what I said about Trump. Can you imagine if Zuckerberg's like, I will shut down Facebook tomorrow if I'm not in? And people were just like secretly voting yes, 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 because they're addicted to it. It's a real addiction. Didn't we cover this last episode?
Zoidberg. Zoidberg.
I call him Zuckercorn. I call everything corn, apparently.
Oh.
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay. So we should move on to another segment, just a segue into Smirk or Smile.
Segue for a segment? Smirk or smile, everyone. I'm ready to smirk or smile.
Have you got a Smirk or Smile?
I do. Mine's real short. Mine's real easy.
Good, because I forget mine, because I need to drink a little more.
That'll help you remember.
Mm-hmm.
My smirk today has been so good. So I went to bed last night thinking, oh, hey baby, I'm like, hey, it's been a little while. Why don't we? And I fell asleep. And I woke up with the biggest stiff neck I've ever had. From here to here, I can't look left. I don't know if in the podcast you can tell I've been just looking this way most of the time. Mm-hmm. But, dude, and it's gotten worse as the day goes on. So if I die from whatever disease it is where you get the stiff neck first, can't touch your chin to your chest. What's it called? Yeah. The kid died from it when probably we were going into college. Meningitis.
Oh, meningitis? Is that really the neck problem? You really have a neck problem?
Yeah, you start with it.
Ooh.
Well, it usually gets worse as you go, but I'm not like 21 entering a dorm, so I think it's just a stiff neck.
Yeah, probably. You're just old.
Pretty much. My child will sleep in his room. He's practically an adult 3-year-old. Good for him. Every morning between 4 and 5:30 a.m., he wakes up and comes into our room with his blanket and one of his toys and just climbs onto the bed. And I think he climbed on at like 4:30 last night, probably took up 90% of the bed, and I think I slept like this, and it's his fault. It's your fault. If you're watching this years later, it's your fault. If I passed on, it's your fault.
So is that a smirk or is that a smile?
I'm smiling because I love it. I love this kid. Hey, if you're watching this, turn it off right now. What Uncle Nick and Uncle Dan do, don't tell anyone else. Okay, buddy?
I'm riding the wave right now, and I don't know
where you were headed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
really serene moments, so you don't have any pressure, and you're just chilling.
Just chilling. You know what you have? The 2-beer buzz. Do you know what a 2-beer buzz is?
I am on the second one, so.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where you're standing at a party and you're just looking at everybody and you're just like, yeah.
That's the perfect moment because the alcohol is just before you start impairing, but it's also just when the relaxation kicks in and you're at the zen moment where you're like, I should only have 2 every night. And then you pound the 3rd and 4th and 5th beer and then at a party.
And then your personality changes.
Yeah. And all hell breaks loose and you feel like shit and all that good stuff.
This might go down a rabbit hole, but I remember there was a 2-beer buzz where I was talking to one of your cousins, and they actually had this weird party. So, like, the school I went
Where
to,
is it?
They had a whole bunch of photography majors.
Where were you? You can say the same
Rochester.
Damn school.
It was in Rochester.
My cousin?
No, I was on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So, the party was weird because they had these cameras set up in the corners, and like they would take a snapshot of every minute to like capture the party.
Wow.
So that was a little weird. And then they had a guy in the kitchen making crepes. So like he'd be like cooking up crepes. That's
the most art major party I've ever heard in my life.
It's artisanal partying.
Anything in your crepes, sir?
I'll take a little bit of truffle. White wine.
Pass me another shot, yeah?
The cool thing.
I don't know why he's like Swedish, but
yeah, he wasn't, but that would fit in perfectly. But the cool thing was that they're like right behind their house. They had a lock, and they had one of the like the giant, one of the like you call it a door, but it's a lock that would shut off the water. So like they had like the ancient ones because the Erie Canal went right behind it. So I remember sitting on top of that lock because you could climb up it. So I was like a story or two up in the air, and I was talking to your cousin for no reason at all. But it was that's a smile moment because I remember that.
Moment, smile.
That's the second beer moment.
Nice.
Yeah,
I respect that. Even though it's with a blood relative of mine, I don't even care.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, the only blood relative. No.
Do you only have one cousin?
Friend of mine. No, I have. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they know. He knows. No, you're not the only friend to date one of my blood relatives that's actually that one. Weird.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll take that as my smile moment. I know there's another smile moment in there, but I cannot remember it for the life of me, and it was a good one. It was a good one.
This just reminded me of the most surreal moment of my life. Cinco de Mayo?
Yep.
Yes. 2006, I want to say. The reason I know is I graduated in 07, so it had to be junior year or sophomore. Sophomore year, so it had to be 05. Drinking tequila. I just know it was my sophomore year of college, Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, hope everyone doesn't figure out my age.
You're old as fuck.
Y'all.
Compared to some people, and then you're young as fuck compared to the other people.
By the way, Dan, we're cutting out cursing in the podcast.
Oh, shit!
You were riding. you were riding that 2 beer, man. That's what got you in trouble.
That's okay. Honesty is a virtue.
It's a virtue, and it's a virgin, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember I drank a lot in college, and I was just drinking regular this night. Pounding 700 beers, whatever. 1,000 mile an hour, and yeah. So I stayed at 105, house 105, and it was my friend's house. And I fell asleep on the couch, and I said I can't go out with you guys. And I passed out at like 10 o'clock at night. Woke up at 2 in the morning. It was just pitch black. Everyone's either out or asleep, passed out, whatever. I kind of knew where I was, but I didn't. I got up, walked up to the bathroom. And they had one of those chest-high mirrors that, wide. It's like 8 feet wide. And 2 sinks.
Yeah.
So I turned on the light. I kind of walked past the mirror looking at myself like, I peed. I walked back over, and I was going to wash my hands, which I don't usually do. I'm not a big hand washer. Mm-hmm. And I started washing my hands. And I looked in the mirror, and I said, "Who are you?" And this is the weirdest thing in the world. I had no clue who I was for like 5 whole minutes. I looked in the mirror and I touched it. I was like, what's your name? And it wasn't a drunk thing because I've been drunk a lot. I think I literally somehow had some kind of memory fugue. What's that called? Fugue?
I like the word fugue because I think fugue is confusion, right?
It is. It's like a confusion of your identity, I believe. It's a psychological thing. And I don't know. I'm sure the alcohol didn't help. But I literally looked at myself. I'd never seen this face before, and I was like...
It's like going on a walkabout, and then you find yourself.
It was weird, I guess. But and I wasn't upset, because, like, some of my features are beautiful, but some of them are like, is that Mediterranean? I'm not really a fan. You know what I mean?
And I was Sicilian.
Yeah. And I was just looking, and I really had no clue who my name, my address. I tried to remember a phone number, just nothing. But I knew other things. Like, I knew I could do factorial. It was like 8 factorial is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5. And I knew most of my, my mental
method coming in.
It was so weird. And I was like, well, I know a lot of scientific stuff, too. And I was like, but I don't know who the hell this is. And it was freaking me out. But I didn't go back to bed until I figured out who I was. And then I was like, oh, my God.
Luckily, you found yourself.
I found myself. And I went back to bed. But Cinco de Mayo. There you go, folks. Huh. And fugue you. Fugue you.
Is that going to be your word of the day?
Fugue, yes. Fugue. That's why I brought it up.
Fugue. So I'm going to go back to Smirker Smock because I remember what it was.
Smirker Smock.
Smirker Smock.
He's gonna smirk and smile this whole episode, folks.
So this is a smirk because I've been playing Words with Friends, which I still play. I apologize. I still play. There's this girl who's at college, and she's in college.
Now we know why. Oh, that's fine. You just.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. She
Did I
plays
play
at my
soccer
speed.
that
That's
day?
what I enjoy. She plays regularly.
Did she play soccer that day?
She's
I was
quick.
there.
Soccer? What are you talking about?
We played soccer the day I came up to your school.
What are you talking about? We did.
I came up
You
to-
played on our
Yes,
team.
we did.
But she was
On
not
your
on my.
team.
This is now.
Oh, okay.
That was in the past. But we did when you came to visit me. We did play soccer. I remember you in a huff.
What was I in a huff about?
You were not angry. You were just out of
Oh, in a
air.
huff. I wasn't. Anyway, it's probably because I had a garbage plate the night before.
Oh, those things are delicious when you're drunk.
Yeah,
I feel like people are going to get stabbed around you, and a little bit of blood is going to get in your meal, and you're going to be like, man, that tasted so good.
if I have a garbage plate right now and get stabbed.
Not you, other people.
Oh, okay.
Why would you get
Good.
stabbed? I don't.
I don't know. I was getting worried. I thought it was a threat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just
good
press
thing going.
yourself into the bench, and then the bench protects you. At least your backside, which is the part you need to be sensitive about.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
So-
used to the average pounding you take day in day out. Anyway,
Toughen
almost
it
go
up.
numb,
Gotta
Dan.
toughen it up. So, I was playing Words with Friends with this girl for, I don't know, it seems like 2 or 3 months now, and I
Talking
wanted.
about it for an awful lot now. It's been 2 minutes, but keep going.
I'm
Talk
trying
about
to speed it up, but you're slowing me down. So I was trying to find somebody that was independent, somebody who didn't know me really, who was out there. So I mentioned that I had.
Katie, turn it off.
Yeah, I had a YouTube channel
Go
because I'm a big celebrity, and we have one view from an outside viewer, which is not true. Actually, we have more, but
several dozen.
several
Okay.
dozen. So I was trying to get her opinion on it. So I said, check this channel out. You could look through all the videos and tell me what you think. Like, that's what I'm really after. I'm really after your comments. And she said, I'm not
That's
really.
what I'm after, baby.
Yeah.
Your comments.
I'm not really into Scientology. I don't know about your channel, and I'm not going to look at it. And I this is a day later after I let her. I gave her some time to look at it, and I said
Really rude.
yeah, can you just check it out and figure out
Look at it and then say I don't like it, or lie and say it was okay and then never look at it again.
Yeah. Instead, she was like, I don't have time for this, essentially. But she didn't say it that way. She was just like, it's not my thing. I'm not she didn't even know if it was her thing. She couldn't even watch it. She didn't even watch it. So I was like, what the heck? So I was like, I'm gonna play a game on this girl because she needs to figure out,
Who she is?
this is life. Yeah, you got to figure this out. So I
Trying to make a Pocahontas mode on her where she realizes how life is coming at her and she's missing it.
I don't think I've ever seen the movie Pocahontas.
Yeah, let's just go with it. Is that what you're trying to do?
Pocahontas was figuring out what her life was like.
And you're trying to be the wind.
Yes.
And you were trying to paint with all the colors in the wind, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Colors in the wind. That's what colors in the wind. So I figured out how self-centered or not egotistical, but self-concerned she was. So I simply said, we talk about you in an episode. We've already posted it. And she's like, well, what did you talk to me about? What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? And I was like, you're going to have to watch all the videos to figure it out.
That's pretty rude.
And
This is like you're checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
The sex questionnaire.
Yes. Yep. You got to mess with. That's why women don't like me. In general.
For other reasons.
Yeah, for other reasons too. But so she immediately resigned from all the games we were playing, and I was like, what? So I haven't reconnected with her, but I've seen the views on really random videos going up.
One
and I'm like,
at a time.
yeah, and I get the analytics every 3 days later. So this is the second day. So on the third day, I get to see how many videos from Australia, because she's from a different country, Australia. How many different views from her we've gotten, and how much she's watched.
Well, we're gonna find out one way or the other.
Yes.
Dan, you're diabolical. I feel like.
Oh yeah, I'm a mastermind.
I feel like I did know you were diabolical, but now I know you're diabolical. Does that make sense?
See, I think it's hilarious, but other people would probably be like, "Man, don't mess with that guy." All my teachers are like, "Something is wrong with this kid." I'm laughing maniacally in the back of class.
And they're like, "There's not even a joke going on. No one else in class is laughing."
The whole class is looking at me. I don't even notice. So that's my smirk.
That's a smile. If I ever heard one.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ready for the celebrity challenge?
Oh, celebrity challenge!
Celebrity challenge!
Ah! Are we gonna call it? I don't even
do it at home. Celebrity. Is that what they do at home? Well,
yeah,
they say it with conscious. They channel off. Celebrity. They do that. They raise the roof. It's crazy.
Yep.
I don't know what you're doing at home, folks. I can only imagine in this mind here, it's going in circles. We're calling Dan Aykroyd.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
And his brother, his cousin.
Has a brother and a cousin.
He has a brother, doesn't he?
I'll assume.
Oh,
I will assume.
No, I thought he was a famous
disbelief.
actor. There's another Aykroyd brother.
Is he an actor too?
Yeah, I think it's. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I don't want to look at it. Don't. I see the browser opening up on your face.
I have to. I can see the browser.
So what are you going to challenge him to? Is that so? You're challenging him to something with his cousin brother ish. Does he have a cousin that is a brother? That's a little weird.
This bothers me. Someone named Peter Aykroyd? I'm not even sure who he is. Dan Aykroyd and Peter Aykroyd. I'm challenging both of them, even if they're not related. Okay, I'm ready.
Aykroyd is not a popular name.
Well then...
They have to be related. Have to be. Even if they're not related, this might make it good.
All right. I want Peter Aykroyd and Dan Aykroyd to challenge both of us to a contest where we drink as much Canada Dry ginger ale as we possibly can. We shove that stuff in our face, folks. We just start guzzling Canada Dry. We're like down in that ginger flavored beverage. If we get sponsored by Canada Dry ginger ale.
Huh.
I'm just saying.
That's your product plug and
it is.
Celebrity challenge.
No. I have a good product plug, but this one is.
I feel like we have to be involved in something with like Canadian essence in order to do it. Like we have to be playing hockey while drinking Canada Dry, and then something with a moose and Mounties.
Who do you think makes Canada Dry ginger ale? This is a fact, not an opinion. So
Mexico.
I can say whatever. No, like what company?
Well, it all rolls up to like Pepsi and Coke, right?
No, because this one's authority of Dr. Pepper / 7-Up.
7-Up. Oh, they have their own thing.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Huh.
Well, anyway, we could do. I feel like Aykroyd is Canadian, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah, he was in. I think he was he in Canadian Bacon. No, that was John Candy.
So he was in Blues Brothers, so that counts for something.
Anyway, I feel like he is Canadian though.
Can we change?
I can sense it.
Canadian baseball.
Can we talk about that?
Did you tell me about that?
I invented it.
I was there.
I know.
Okay. Why'd you ask if I told you about that? Like you were like about to
I
reveal
said something else, but I don't remember it now.
Oh, yeah. I think the drinks get there. I think
It
you
could
said
be.
that. I told
It could very well be.
Were you? Do you know how we used to get in that room?
There was something with like a door you could shimmy. So
Shimmy
for the
breaking and entering.
viewers,
Breaking and entering.
there was a special building that they just annexed in our high school, and it was like three floors, and it was at the top. Damn it! And so the top one was all wrestling mats. It was all like foam, and then cinder blocks on all four rectangular corners. That doesn't make sense, but that's okay. So no one ever used it except for the wrestling people, apparently, which they probably never
after school.
Yeah, so during
So
the
no
day,
one used it during the day at all. It was just totally empty.
I don't know. It was definitely you and me that first went up there and found our way in.
I feel like David, what's his name? Mexican Catfish was there.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. I could believe that.
Could see it. Yeah,
He was
Mexican
good.
Catfish. He was incredible. I think he was made for the game. I'm not really sure how.
Yeah, I feel like we needed to make that as like a professional sport, and then he would be the star.
He could be. He's still, maybe that's what he's been doing, training for this.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the Canadian Baseball League. Anyway, folks, we made a sport where with a tennis ball, anyone in the middle of the field had to play with your feet. So it would be like soccer.
Mm-hmm.
You kick and kick, blah, blah, and kick and whatever.
Yeah.
And there were always one or two goalies, and goalies could use their hands, and they had to stay behind a certain length. Well, goalies could also pick up and throw at the goal, which is cool because you could throw across the thing with a tennis ball. The cool thing is the wrestling mats started around waist high and ended around head high, I want to say. Like the wrestling mats that line the wall.
I kind of remember getting body checked a little bit. Because it was a soft floor. You could do any of that.
Right. And there were wrestling mats everywhere. You just we would hit people. It was a combination of soccer, throwing the ball across the room, diving and making saves, all while a bunch of men wore khaki pants, I guess.
Yeah.
And ties.
And sweater vests.
Sweater vests, of course.
My specialty. That was but it was definitely I wouldn't say illegal, but the school didn't know about it at all.
No. We broke into the building. We broke into the building with 12 people, and we would just somehow form teams of 6 and 6 and play, and somehow we regulated ourselves and somehow kept score, and somehow what really baffles me is how we all knew, I guess, free periods.
Well, no, it was during cafeteria, so
right.
We'd all look at each other and nod, and then it started with only a few people, and then there was easily 24 people up there playing a sport. A sport that didn't exist.
Undocumented sports. That's crazy. I feel like it should have went pro. Canadian baseball still could go pro.
I feel like there's a...
If it does, we copyright it. Right here
Canadian
on the podcast.
Baseball.
On Panders. Can't play it, folks, unless you're Canadian baseball or an unpander like us. See in courts. Suckers.
There are so few sports that have different rules for different parts of the field. If you're playing hockey, you're not allowed to change the rules. It's just
the goalie plays different than everyone. He's using all parts of his body to grab the puck and everything.
That's true. I guess he's allowed to pick it up.
Right. You can do.
So I guess it's adapted.
And you can't hit him. You know what I mean? A little bit.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess you're right. Not to admit it.
Said it very grudgingly. I guess so.
I'll allow it.
Huh. Well, we'll have to save it for another episode.
Yeah. So we're up to word of the moment, actually. If you have a word, you've already used your word.
Fugue.
A fugue. So you have my word. My word is aleatoric, which is one of my favorites. Aleatoric. It's like a randomness. They attribute it to music a lot because they just kind of play random notes until it makes a song. Mostly it's computer generated, so it finally you make a whole bunch of random crap, but one of those actually makes a song, and then it actually becomes music, whereas the other ones are not recognized. So it's just randomness. It's a completely random thing that happens that exists and actually gets enjoyed by somebody. Which I think is pretty much life, but no one ever uses aleatoric because it's...
to go on an offshoot, what determines a pattern? It gets repeated after a certain amount of time?
What determines a pattern that gets repeated after a certain amount of time?
No. What determines a pattern? Question mark. Is it something that just gets repeated over time? I don't know. I didn't look it up.
You're talking about different bars of music. Where you're getting
sure.
At, right?
Whether it's musical or otherwise, a pattern is something.
Well, they do this. They do the same thing with medicines. They create this random. I'm gonna mess this up. This random, not molecule but compound, and then they test it on a whole bunch of different tissues of all different types to figure out all these diseases. And then they're like, all these random things are happening, and they're throwing them at the wall, and then one of them sticks. That's an aleatoric method because you're just randomly creating these things and hoping that they do something.
I would totally do that. You can kill a lot of birds with a lot of stones and find a lot of what we talked about in the last episode, a lot of accidental cures, sweeteners, and mustard gases, etc.
Yeah, chemotherapy.
No, what I was going with was more along the lines of who's to say what's a song? What if your life gets repeated every 1,000 years in the universe. It just gets repeated, and then every 5th time, there's like a cymbal splash. And then it goes back.
That's where you get to live as the president of a country or some really wealthy guy, I guess.
Yes, I don't know. But then it repeats again 4 times. Wouldn't that be a pattern? That would totally be, your life would just be a song. How would you know? Because there hasn't been enough time. You follow that?
So your soul gets scooped up and then like it's deposited again.
I guess. Everything happens again.
You relive.
We haven't lived long enough to know, right? What a song is and what a song isn't.
That's really philosophical, dude.
2 beer buzz, folks. 2 beer buzz. Yeah. Hands are in the air. Don't shoot. I don't know. I think about that one. Like, what is a song? How long is a song?
What if it ends too soon? You gotta hurry the hell up. You gotta make your own music. Get buzzing, buddy.
Yes. As Alan Watts says, what's his most famous thing? My favorite one of his is always... This is offshoot now because I'm misquoting him, obviously, and he will come back to life.
The misquote is the best. Keep going.
Misquote is always good.
It makes it yours.
He says it's interesting. Bad things always happen to you, whether it's a virus. Oh, I have the flu. How did I get the flu? Something bad in life happens to you. I can't believe taxes have been raised and it's screwing me. It's screwing me. I can't believe my cousin-in-law got hit by a car. It's my, everything happens to you.
You feel like it's your fault because you were part of the succession that led to it.
Sure. Actually, I was going with the other way. You're a victim of it. It's raining on me. You're a victim of it because you can't control the rain. You can't control the virus that's attacking your aunt. You know what I mean? You can't, right?
That's true.
But when you do something, you did it. I gave someone a job the other day. I gave my woman an orgasm the other day. Like,
how convenient.
When really, how convenient. Not true, folks. I haven't had sex in years. Decades.
You held up your hand when you did it.
Honest engine, folks. But we conveniently think things that happen that are bad often happen to us as a victim, and good things are things we did. And it doesn't even stop at, like Alan Watts says, our body. Like, oh no, I got sick. The virus attacked my immunity. When really, everything that happens inside your body is you, right? Yeah. So aren't you the virus at that point?
Your
and the antibody?
Strong enough because of something. No one ever looks back and introspects.
Wait, aren't you the virus at that point, too? Attacking you? It's his argument. I mean, it's part of you, right?
That's true.
Right? The only difference is time. 6 weeks ago, it wasn't there. 6 weeks later, it is there. It's inside you. That's you. How it reacts inside you is you, right? Dan's trying to say no. He's trying to say no. He wants to say no. Go say no. I don't give a damn.
I guess viruses are different than bacteria. Like, if it was a bacteria, your body could expel it. But I think viruses stick around. Like mono.
Your body expels good material, doesn't it?
What was the question?
Your body expels good material, too, doesn't it? You're constantly expelling and intaking different material all the time.
You can kill a bacteria and then have it not ever be in your body, but I think a virus will stick.
What about the good bacteria that's in your gut? We all know about that. Everyone loves it.
Gut flora. Yep.
Yes. That's not you, or is it?
They do a lot of weird studies about figuring out, like, what does that really do for you? Like, they've actually shown that it changes your mood to change your gut flora.
Really? Interesting.
So it's like your personality is based off of a lot of different things, and some of those things aren't actually
not you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what is you?
It's the perception of being the best of you, I guess. If you're not a victim, you think the best. If you are a victim, you think the worst.
Well, Alan Watts also argues that you are many things. Could you also be the distance between you and the sun? Like, that distance between you and the sun is always constant? Is that a relationship of how you are?
I don't think that it is actually always constant, but...
Well, fine, it always changes. Then same thing. There is a distance, and it's always changing. That's a constant, correct?
The change is constant.
Yes.
So you're saying that you're relating me to a physical distance?
Sure.
That I'm getting longer.
And shorter. Much shorter. He just argues that we always define ourselves as inside the skin and this for the most part, except when things are happening to us or we're happening to things. And it's hard to say whether that's true or not. I don't think he argues one way or the other. Just that we're kind of a symptom and a part of the universe and also a result of the universe. And so we're very nearsighted when we think of just what's happening behind here is us, when really what's happening out here is also us, because we're changing all the things around us at all times.
Affecting the world around you.
Right, and without you, that change wouldn't happen either. So that's part you as well. It's his argument. I'm very Buddhist these past 2 episodes.
Did you come up with the distance of the Earth to the Sun on your own, or was that Alan Watts thinking about that?
I think I did. Come on, let's be serious.
That sounded like bullshit. But
yeah, the rest of it was right.
The rest of it, yeah, sure.
Kind of. I like the rest of it. The one about the sun and the earth, that's bullshit.
That's garbage. But
I think he said the distance between you and other people.
Like the distance you take in social interactions.
Sure. He says we put so much emphasis on the people themselves, but the space between the people is also important for that exact reason. If people were creepily up on you at all times, everything would be different. Everything would feel weird.
I feel like there's a part of the brain that controls the space between people, and the people who don't do that, they're missing part of their brain.
Close talkers? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, close talkers have something wrong. Or loud talkers, when they're like shouting at you. I've had someone talk to me on an airplane when it was taking off. And they're just loud, like da 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 da, like trying to talk over the jet engine, and I'm just like, please, you have to understand.
We don't need to have this conversation.
Yeah,
it can wait.
We'll
be stuck in this tin can in the air for hours.
There's a social normalcy that you don't understand at all, which is bizarre because you're 30 years old. So something is wrong with you. That's my thought process. But I'll continue to try to talk to you in a slower tone than you are talking to me.
But I am much more polite than you are, sir, so I will continue this conversation.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of everyone around us.
Yep. Luckily, it was a plane to Las Vegas, so everyone was talking.
Not that far. Yeah, everybody's talking and chit-chatting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I did want to say something real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
There's people at XT. They make a little product that I literally couldn't live without.
You can't see the product.
Show it up here.
Just lean it in right there. You got to rotate it, and now pull it back. Wait, I see XT. I see Sound Logic.
Uh-huh.
Is that Sound Logic?
That's Sound Logic.
It's terrible. Okay. It's blurry, but that's okay. I can read
it. Camera. You made me buy it for the podcast. Yeah.
I picked it out. It is my fault. I understand. I'm not the victim here.
Anyway, folks, Sound Logic by XT is a 2200 millihertz MHAA filled battery pack. Okay, it's for a cell phone device. What's incredible about it is it can hold a charge for up to 36 days.
Did you say 2200 milliamp hours?
No, 2200 milliamp
hours.
Thank you. And whatever the battery measurements of a cell phone are.
2.2 amp hours. That's pretty good.
No, 2200. There's cell phones are measured in thousands. Like I think my cell phone's a 2600 battery, and it begins with M and ends with either A or H.
AH. Yep, amp hours.
Look at me.
I'm not going to find the podcast. I'm ruining your product book. All right, now shut up.
No, it's totally fine. What I did notice, though, is it's
kind of phallic.
I don't think so. What I know is that it holds a charge for 36 days. If you're walking around with your cell phone, all you need to do is plug your little charger, boop, right in there. You plug it in, boom, you got power going right to your phone. Who wants to be on a phone without power? Not I, folks. So you buy this bad boy, you fill it with charge, you bring it with you, and then boom, it's time for the big ceremony, or your son's getting graduated, or oh my god, the wedding's here, and you want to take pictures, but the battery starts flashing 15% red, and you're going, oh my god. Well, guess what, folks? Relax. Pop in the SoundLogic XT 2200 MHA. I don't want to hear anything from you.
You don't have any silver. That's strange. It's really weird.
Do you want to hear the best part?
It's
really strange. Yours has a flashlight?
Yeah.
Does yours work?
We're talking about the Fremo XT LT double wide 3200 milliamp hour.
Are you kidding me?
Model Q02, made in China. And I'm going to slide it right into its sack. Boom.
And yours came with a sack?
Woo!
So mad.
Take those pictures now, bitch.
Did you see that I had this beforehand?
I had no idea. But I keep this nearby because I never know when I'm going to run out of power and I have to charge my computer for this podcast. Plug it right in.
Bitch.
Lasts for about half a second. Gives me a half a second longer to say goodbye.
Wait. Well, what I was going to say about this before I was rudely interrupted, I can't believe you had the exact same product, but a year or two newer.
Yeah.
No, I'm blown away. How did you... Anyway, you really stopped me 1 to 2 sentences before I was going to say, folks, I've had it for 4 years. It worked one time, and that's it. It's a piece of shit.
I used it one time as well. It makes you feel proud that you can use something that had no use whatsoever before you used it.
Honestly. And I charge it all the time, and my battery is dying, and I connect it to my phone, and it's like 22% increasing. And I look at it, and I'm like, I'm going to get to like 40. And I check back in like 10 minutes, and it's like 23%, and then losing battery. And I'm like, what the fuck? You gave me 1% over 10 minutes. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that China is laughing at us because they make like all of these.
And the batteries.
They're just like, they give it to a company, they're just like, please stamp your logo onto it so we can sell it to these stupid Americans.
Well, and get this, they also make the batteries in our cell phones.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they're double dipping.
Yeah. They own the world, and we appreciate it.
If you're from China, the Unpanders like to say, thanks for the follow, but no thanks. Dan, tell them. We don't need them. We don't need their views. The entire country trying to watch us. Our views.
I'm pretty sure we blocked.
Surging.
We would be blocked.
Yeah.
But
do you think
if China were to watch us, I'm pretty sure it would surge. I'd feel it. I'd get notifications. I'd get all these messages. Wouldn't be able to understand any of them because they'd be in Chinese.
Not necessarily.
Broken English.
Not necessarily.
IMDb ratings that I can't understand.
Fair. I'll agree with that. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So I want to tie it back to it now.
Bring it back to it.
I want to talk about how much I liked it. You haven't seen it, so like the beginning.
No,
I could talk about the beginning scene.
Go ahead. You can spoil it for everyone. I don't give a damn. Hey everyone, we're spoiling it.
Yeah, we're spoiling it.
It's a clown.
You might want to cut out or watch it before you watch this one. But the beginning scene is that it's like 1980, so there's nostalgia there.
Okay. Is it, for the record, is it a remake of the original or a remake of the book? So a lot of things skew off.
I would say it's a remake, but also a spin-off because the timing is different because it's 1950s in the original. 19 is 27 years, which is an important number later in the one was more recent. So
27-year-old clown?
There's still a clown. Yeah, it comes
27-year-old clown, I said?
I wouldn't say he has an age.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's an age. So they have, in the beginning, you understand that this is a movie that's going to be gruesome because there's a family. Okay, so there's an older brother and a little brother, and he makes him a floating little ship, and he's like putting like paraffin wax, and he's making sure it floats. So that's like a 1950s thing, which people complained about, but that's okay. So he gives him the boat, and the older brother feels guilty.
People complaining, get a life.
Yeah. The older brother feels guilty because the little kid takes the boat out. He's running around wearing, cute little child outfit. He's like, maybe like 7 or 8. And
Sure.
he runs into It, who comes out of the sewers. And he's like in the sewers holding his boat, because his boat went down in the sewer. And the little kid's just like, my older brother gave it to me. I feel guilty because, it's my older brother's. I want it back. And It just kind of just lures him in, and then bad things happen.
Is it like rape or murder? Or?
Oh, no, it doesn't have... Well, no, it doesn't really have to do with rape.
Okay, good. I have no idea. I've never seen it. I
It's
just know
murder,
it's
but...
that's
I
not
don't
good
wanna
either,
spoil
by
it.
the way. For the record, Panders does not approve of rape of children or murder.
Yeah. So...
Either or. Bad.
I'm just going to say the blanket statement is that it represents, I guess, all of those childhood fears. Like anything you could fear or anything that could happen to you as a child and be powerless, that's what he represents.
Like nightmares.
I'd say more than nightmares. It's like actually like social, like
does he
child protective services and all that jazz.
Is it like Is it like a little bit Freddy Kruegian in that it's
definitely
everything? Okay, he has like dream powers. Like suddenly he's bigger than everything. Suddenly he can make everyone stare at you. Suddenly he's floating somewhere. Suddenly he appears with blood behind him.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
He knows what your fear is, and he manipulates you through your fear.
Okay, and he's not a regular man. He's clearly an immortal or magic or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's actually 2 parts, so this is the first part of the movie that came out recently. And they did a good job with it.
Wait, there's a second part coming out?
There's a second part, which goes back to 27 years later, from 1980-something to today.
Huh.
So the second one's going to be really interesting, too.
Do you think they're going to just have, like, Trump clown? That'd be really funny.
Just like...
He's doing the... You've got to come down here. There's going to be a huge balloon. Jaina doesn't have as many balloons as I've got down here.
Children's bodies. Oh, boy.
Did you see any Juggalo coverage over the weekend?
Juggalo? I actually did
the
not.
Juggalos. Oh, the Juggalos marched on Washington, D.C.
See, now, I refer to them as gigolos, right? Is that the same thing? Gigolo?
No. Gigolo is a male who has sex for money.
Yeah, what's a juggalo?
Juggalos are insane clown posse.
Really? That's it.
They wear black and white face paint.
I did not see this.
They drink vega.
Maybe that's why I ignored it, because I just think gigolo when I see
It was Juggalos? Oh, no. This is fans of the Insane Clown Posse, the ICP.
Mm-hmm.
They all wear face paint. They drink Fago. They believe in acceptance of all people, like fat people, skinny people, gay people, trans. Like they're totally
for
accepting.
everybody, huh?
Which I used to make fun of the ICP fans, and a certain person in our high school who loved ICP. Insane Clown Posse. Anyway, but I digress. I hope he does.
Tomorrow.
He used to give me the middle finger like this. It was like a
shorter finger. For some reason, this finger was bigger.
That's awesome. But he used to dig him. I used to make fun of him because they had a song called Rainbows.
Yeah, I remember that one.
They were magic, and one of the lines is magnets. How do they work? And it was like, and they thought that was magic too. And I thought, my God, these people.
They don't know science.
But at the same time, I do respect their trailer park, earthy, like bring everyone aboard. And I believe their call is whoop, 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 whoop. And they would whoop at people. And they had a rally, and Trump's people are trying to get them designated as an actual gang and listed in like FBI databases.
Wow.
Because they wear face paint and they're very anti-Trump, which I think that's cool. It's just like funny. Like the Juggalos are coming for Trump, and I'm like, if you told me this 10 years ago, what would I have thought? Like, what would I think?
You would think you're full of shit, man.
Exactly. The Juggalos are coming after Trump, and he's trying to make them labeled as gangs. If someone said that to me 10 years ago, I'd be like, Donald Trump?
You actually
The juggalos?
yeah, you actually relate to the juggalos more than anybody. You're like,
Exactly, and I'm like, these guys are all right. No, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, I got a shout out to the juggalos. They're out there drinking Fago, having a good time, accepting everybody, and fighting the power. So shout out if you're a juggalo. Click follow. We're practically juggalos too.
Yeah.
We're dumber and
we don't
taller.
wear paint.
We don't wear paint. Yeah, it's still early in our career.
Yeah, that could be the end.
The unpanderers wearing face.
Was that
I don't know. I think we did pretty good. Yeah.
what was that
Anything
Captain Disillusionment or whatever his name is? Do you ever see that guy?
Sounds really familiar.
He wears like a really weird face paint to make himself stand out, but I don't know why he needs it. It weirds me out, but he actually comes, like, he found all these ads that were like placed in Facebook that make it seem real, and he shows how they weren't filmed by real people, that they were created in some sort of studio. So like a lightning bolt hits the ground, and it shows, like, there's no flash on the ground in this spot, and there's no heat vibration, and he like goes into the science of things. And I think his name is Captain Disillusionment, but I might be making that up.
Oh, jeez. Now I gotta look it up.
Don't click.
Anyway, what I would click instead of that is
Yeah,
the Unpanderers.
The Unpanderers.
You gotta go to our socials. It's insane.
Unpanderers.com.
Don't miss that part. That's a tricky part.
Yep.
You gotta go to our website. You gotta go click like. You gotta click super like. You gotta click the heart button. You gotta hit retweet. You gotta smack the heart symbol.
Yeah. Give us another thumbs up.
Thumbs straight up. Yeah, right up that.
You better subscribe, because we don't have any. Well, we have three. And
several. We have several.
And me. And somebody else.
Several.
Yeah, we're okay.
Our fans are diversifying a portfolio is really what it is. And I think
we're betting towards the future here.
Is your hair getting shorter and mine's getting longer, by the way?
Mine, I actually made sure it was...
groomed? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I showered... Oh, Jesus, it was 2 nights ago.
Ruined.
Days they run together, folks. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you either.
We do our best. I think we do.
Yeah, this, I think it's good.
Well, instead of a sandwich, you can get it in a tortilla. It's a wrap. Where are you going with that? You're like, it's sex. I was going with it's a wrap, folks. It's a wrap. I'm Nick, the one with the good hair.
And I'm Dan, with the extremely good hair.
Together we form an unlikely duo that we won't stop until all the answers have been answered.
And the pandering
together we are.
Has finished.
I think so. We are
the Unpanderers.
We like you, folks. We like you a lot.